Have you ever wondered why your grocery bill is getting steeper every month? It's no secret that grocery prices are on the rise, and it's not just by a few cents. This year, we're expecting to see some of your favorite items costing double. It's a significant shift, and being aware and prepared is crucial, especially for those of us who are preppers. So, what's on the list? Stay tuned as we delve into the 13 groceries that you should consider stocking up on. First on the list is all beef products. So, why are we seeing a price rise here? Well, it's a classic case of supply and demand. With the world opening up post-pandemic, the demand for beef has surged. But the supply isn't able to keep up. The cost of feed for cattle has gone up and there's a lack of it too. This means farmers are having to spend more to raise their cattle, and this cost is being passed on to the consumer. Also, there's a global trend of increased meat consumption, particularly in emerging economies, which adds to the demand. So, the price of your favorite cut of beef, or that juicy burger, is set to go up. Now, if you're a beef lover, or if beef is a staple in your prepper pantry, it might be smart to stock up on beef products now. Moving on to the next items on the list, potatoes and eggs. Let's dig a little deeper into why these everyday staples might soon be burning a hole in your pocket. Starting with potatoes. A staple in many diets, these versatile veggies have been hit hard by a perfect storm of issues. Weather conditions have been less than ideal for potato crops, with droughts, floods, and unseasonal frosts causing havoc in the fields. These extreme weather events have led to smaller harvests and lower quality potatoes, which in turn means higher prices for you. But the weather isn't the only culprit. Transportation issues are also playing a role. With fuel prices on the rise, the cost of getting potatoes from the field to the store is skyrocketing. Add to that a global shortage of shipping containers, and you've got a recipe for price hikes. Now let's crack open the case of eggs. These protein-packed powerhouses are facing their own set of challenges. The cost of feed for laying hens has surged in recent months due to the same weather and transportation issues affecting potatoes. This, coupled with an increased demand for eggs as more people cook at home, has put pressure on egg producers. Moreover, outbreaks of avian flu have led to culling of millions of birds, further straining the supply chain. This combination of high demand, high production costs, and lower supply is a classic recipe for price increases. So, what does this mean for you? Well, next time you're at the grocery store, you might want to think twice before bypassing the potatoes and eggs. Consider stocking up on these staples now, while you still can. Better yet, if you have the means, why not start growing your own potatoes or raising chickens for eggs? It could be a fun and practical way to beat the price hikes and ensure a steady supply of these staples. With these factors in mind, potatoes and eggs are another set of items to consider stocking up on. Scene script. Next up are butter and olive oil. Let's start with butter. It's a staple in many of our kitchens, but there's a storm brewing behind the scenes. Dairy production is a complex process that's becoming increasingly costly. The price of feed for dairy cows has been surging, largely due to volatile weather conditions affecting crop yields. This increase in feed costs is inevitably passed on to the consumer, meaning we pay more for our butter. Furthermore, the dairy industry has been grappling with labor shortages, making the process of getting milk from the farm to your fridge even more challenging. This labor shortage is due to a number of reasons, including the ongoing pandemic and changes in immigration policy. Now, let's turn our attention to olive oil. This golden liquid is cherished by many for its health benefits and culinary versatility. However, olive oil producers are facing a different set of challenges. The primary issue here is the unpredictable weather patterns. Olives, like many crops, are sensitive to changes in climate. A sudden frost, an unexpected heat wave, or a prolonged drought can devastate an entire season's crop. And unfortunately, these extreme weather events are becoming more frequent due to climate change. Such events not only reduce the quantity of the olive harvest, but can also affect the quality of the oil produced. Additionally, olive trees are susceptible to diseases and pests. One such pest is the olive fruit fly, which can cause significant damage to olive crops. Efforts to control these pests add to the production costs, and again, these costs are passed on to us, the consumers. Lastly, the olive oil industry is also struggling with labor shortages, similar to the dairy industry. Given these factors, it may be wise to stock up on butter and olive oil sooner rather than later. Let's not forget about chicken, pasta, and bread. Chicken has long been a staple in many households, but the price of this poultry may be about to ruffle some feathers. A variety of factors are at play here. For starters, the cost of feed has increased significantly. This, coupled with the labor shortages in the poultry farming industry, has driven up the cost of chicken production. Additionally, the increased demand for chicken, as people turn away from more expensive meats, is likely to further inflate the price. Now, let's move on to pasta. The main ingredient in pasta, as we all know, is wheat. Unfortunately, wheat production is facing a crisis. Unpredictable weather patterns and pests have led to poor harvests, and the cost of transportation has surged due to rising fuel prices. These factors are likely to drive up the cost of wheat and subsequently, the price of pasta. Finally, we come to bread. Bread, much like pasta, is heavily dependent on wheat. The challenges facing wheat production will inevitably trickle down to the cost of bread as well. But the implications of wheat shortages go beyond just the price. A shortage of wheat could potentially lead to a lack of availability of bread, a staple food for many. These are another set of items you may want to add to your prepper pantry. It might be a good idea to start exploring alternatives or consider ways to produce these foods at home. Backyard chicken coops, for instance, could provide a steady supply of poultry. Home gardening, while it may not provide all the wheat you need, can certainly supplement your supply. And baking your own bread, aside from being cost-effective, can also be a rewarding experience. Remember, the goal is not just to survive but to thrive. And having a well-stocked pantry can go a long way in ensuring that you do just that. So let's keep prepping, and let's keep pushing on. Last on our list are tomatoes, flour, lettuce, and canned fruit. Starting with tomatoes. Tomato growers have been facing a variety of challenges. From unpredictable weather patterns to an increase in pests, it's been a tough year for our favorite red fruit. The result? A potential increase in tomato prices. And it's not just fresh tomatoes. Canned varieties and tomato-based products could also see a price hike. Moving on to flour. The main ingredient in flour is wheat, and global wheat shortages are causing a ripple effect on the cost of flour. Unfavorable weather conditions, particularly droughts and heat waves in major wheat-producing countries, are causing a decrease in harvests. This, coupled with increased demand, could mean you'll be paying more for your flour this year. Next up, lettuce. Now, you might not think of lettuce as a staple, but it's a key ingredient in many dishes, from salads to sandwiches. Vegetable farming in general has been hit hard by various issues, including labor shortages, water scarcity, and pests. These difficulties translate into higher production costs, which in turn could lead to an increase in the price of lettuce and other vegetables. Lastly, we have canned fruit. While it might seem like a simple, long-lasting pantry item, canned fruit is not immune to price increases. Issues in fruit production, such as extreme weather, pests, and diseases, can affect harvests. This, along with increased costs in canning and transportation, could mean that your favorite canned peaches or pineapples might cost more this year. So, these are the final items to consider for your prepper pantry. Being aware of these potential price increases can help you plan and budget better. Remember, it's always a good idea to have a well-stocked pantry, not just for emergency situations, but also to navigate through times of food price volatility. That wraps up our list of 13 groceries to stock up on. From beef to canned fruits, these everyday items are set to cost you more due to various challenges ranging from weather conditions to production issues. It's a wake-up call for us all to start prepping our pantries, perhaps even consider growing some of these items at home. Thank you for watching, and remember, it's always better to be prepared than caught off guard. Catch you in the next video.